This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Before we start this video, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsor, catbeast.com. Catbeast.com is your one-stop shop for custom snapbacks made from people all around the world. You can design your own custom hats, snapbacks, beanies, and finding other great designs that suit your fitting. Now on to the video. The 2020 NBA draft class projected to be one of the weakest the last 20 years. Not much talent. Won't be surprised if there's no more than 4 All-Stars in this class within the next 10 years. 2021 and 2022 should be way better. Many of the lottery picks will not live up to expectations, which means a few undrafted players will end up having better careers. Some of the best undrafted guys from 2019 who made huge impacts: Terrence Davis, a nice fit for the Toronto Raptors; Luke Dort of the OKC Thunder, played amazing in Game 7 against Houston; and Kendrick Nunn of the Miami Heat made all-rookie first team, took everybody by surprise. Here are 5 of the best undrafted players from the 2020 draft. Marcus Howard of the Marquette Golden Eagles, an absolute bucket getter, 21 years old, just agreed to a 2-way contract with the Denver Nuggets, looked down upon because he's undersized, can score from every angle, had multiple 40-plus point games, even scored in the 50s. When hot, looked like Steph Curry of college basketball. 4 seasons with Marquette, averaged nearly 28 a game this past season, over 41% from deep, put up 25 his 3rd season and over 20 his sophomore year. In a program filled with plenty of great NBA players, Howard finished as Marquette's all-time leading scorer, consensus first team All-American, number 1 in NCAA scoring, attempted over 10 threes a game, being the focal point of the offense because he's undersized and only listed at 5'11", realistically only 5'9.5" barefoot, ticked off many teams, graduated high school in 3 years, showed up to Marquette as a 17-year-old freshman, and led the nation in three-point shooting, can be a solid contributor, getting buckets off the bench even though defense will be an issue. Howard's good at creating space, decent ball handling skills, give him a room of daylight, he'll make teams pay, mix shots from 30 to 40 feet, mix foul shots at a 90% rate, being the first player all time to score 2,500 points at a D1 program in one of the 6 major conferences, to go undrafted. If he was 6'2", Howard would be ranked amongst one of the best prospects in the class. Remember, Isaiah Thomas, only 5'9", was the very last pick, number 60 to be exact, in the 2011 draft. Not saying Howard will be like IT, but his go-to step-back jumpers and off-ball spot-ups very dangerous. If he makes a roster next season, I can see multiple games of Howard scoring 20+ out of nowhere. Devon Dawson out of the University of Kansas, the 6'2" point guard, signed with the Bulls to a 2-way deal, came off averaging over 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, over 2 steals for the Jayhawks, a national title contender if it wasn't for COVID. If there was a tournament, he would have likely been drafted. Very fast on the open floor, a score-first guard, lateral quickness, one of the best in this class, can jump through passing lanes, good physicality and well-built, can pull up off the dribble and blow past defenders, acrobatic and a soft touch around the rim, will also kick it out to open teammates. But just like Howard, Dotson's on the shorter end of the ideal NBA point guard, struggled from deep, shot just 36 to 31% in 2 years, out of control at times with his fast-paced style. Draw some comparisons to Corey Joseph, not a bad rebounder for his size, made All-American second team, led the Big 12 in scoring and steals, can see plenty of minutes from the Bulls, not shy in going to the hole, excels in transition, might be the smallest guy on the court most nights, but plays like he's 6'5", the burst of speed with the balance to finish over bigger guys. Others think they can block his shot, but always too late. If Dawson's shooting stroke improves, can hold on to an NBA spot for years, a very tough player. Tilley, 6'10" forward out of Gonzaga, played 4 seasons with the Bulldogs, averaged 13.6 points, 5 rebounds in 2020, signed the 2-way deal with the Memphis Grizzlies because of the past injury concerns, could have went down as one of the best players in Gonzaga program history and a lock to be a first rounder. Missed 31 of 70 games his junior and senior season. The biggest red flag, dealt with foot, ankle, knee, hip, and hand injuries, but likely fully healthy due to the long break from COVID. For a team that finished 31-2, a 44% three-point shooter, has a good combination of size and shooting as a stretch 4, one of the most valuable assets for the modern typical role player in the NBA. The spot-up shooting will come in handy. I can see him ending up in the Davis Bertans or Duncan Robinson type role, can roll to the basket or pop out, not a slasher, but good enough footwork to score on the low block, decent passer, but just like many other stretch 4 white guys, not very quick on defense and will need to add muscle so he doesn't get bullied by bigger guys. As long as he's able to suit up and play 20-ish minutes, should have no issues landing on a roster spot. Mobility and defense will be key. We'll also need to add in a few more rebounds. 22 years old, Tilley will have to continue draining threes in the gym, can occasionally finish around the rim, not the prettiest of ways, won't have to do much of that in the NBA, just needs to figure out his role and be great at it. Ashton Higgins, out of the University of Kentucky, the starting point guard under John Calipari, played with Tyler Hero, Kendall Johnson, and PJ Washington his freshman year, signed a two-way with the Timberwolves, the 4th former Wildcat to find a home in the big leagues. Of course, the star player in Minnesota, Karl Towns, also played at Kentucky. Not known as a great offensive player, made improvements in year 2, averaged 11.5 points, 6.5 dimes, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2-time SEC defensive team, 1 conference defensive player of the year as a freshman, has a 6'6" wingspan, but not a good shooter, only 26% from deep in college. The Wolves need good defenders, will struggle shooting the ball in the NBA, has comparisons to Patrick Beverley, but a good 6'6" wingspan, can test many jumpers, can change the momentum of a game with his defensive instincts, moves his feet. The opposing point guards can't afford to be careless, otherwise he'll pick their pockets. 21 years old, good at not fouling, will make some sneaky plays when the opportunity arises. Look for him to have some steals and full court press opponents, drawing garbage time to make a statement. Needs to badly improve on his shooting, otherwise teams will simply leave him open. A work in progress. Myles Powell, Seton Hall University. It's an absolute travesty. Powell wasn't selected in the 2020 draft. A sniper from deep, when hot, can drain 30 to 40 footers on pull-up shots in transition. A scoring machine, came into college overweight and fat, but continued to work on his game, lost a lot of weight, improved and got better over time, averaged just 10.7 points as a freshman, came off the bench to averaging 15.5 points his second season to 23 and 21 a game, not shy to shoot, won Big East Player of the Year, can get buckets in a hurry, but also either super hot or super cold. The scoring and points should translate, but needs to improve on his playmaking and work defensively. Seeing his work ethic and progress over the past years should lead to optimism from scouts. His stock simply ruined by COVID. If Powell went off in the tournament, could have been a late first rounder, took control of many games in critical junctures. The grind and development made him one of the best players in Seton Hall history. Didn't have the opportunity to win a Big East tournament title because he's not a true point guard and considered undersized at the 2, but fearless and crafty, finishing around the rim, good at moving without the ball, and used to dealing with double teams. Won't have to worry about that too much in the NBA at first. Should start small coming off the bench. I won't be shocked if Powell ends up being better than some of the lottery picks. Honorable mentions includes Najee Marshall out of Xavier, 6'7" forward, Tyshawn Alexander out of Creighton. The Big East very slept on once again. Freddie Gillespie, power forward out of Baylor, Trace Tanke, 5-year guy out of Oregon State, Mason Jones of Arkansas, and Lamine Janae out of Cal State Northridge. 2-time Big West Player of the Year, 6'7" forward, averaged around 25 and 11 each of his first 2 seasons. Those were some of the best undrafted players of the 2020 draft I felt should have been picked. Which one of these guys on my list you think will have best NBA career? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more content, more good stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.